Boys, I would have never been able to lose 70 pounds, going from 325 pounds to 250 pounds, if it wasn't for meal prepping. Now, everyone has hesitations about meal prepping. They say it takes too long. They say, your food can't be good for an entire week in the fridge. I'm gonna teach you how to meal prep in 1 hour on a Sunday, and you're gonna have delicious meals every single day that are gonna get you to lose weight, build muscle, and most importantly, stick to the diet. Let's go. And look, there's only 3 rules that I follow with meal prep. One is simplicity. It has to be stupid simple, and that is what's gonna get you throughout the week with your meals. And so for this week, for example, I went to Costco, I got some chicken breasts, I had leftover rice, and I got some vegetables. That's pretty much it. Now you're gonna look at this and you're like, all right, well, how are you gonna make this taste good? Great question. The way that we make this taste good is with spices. And you don't shy away from spices. You want it to taste good. The reason why we're doing chicken and rice is because it is a tried and true method. Chicken and rice is not boring if you make it the correct way, which is what I'm gonna teach you today is how to make chicken and rice not boring so you can eat it day in, day out, build muscle, lose weight, lose fat, and really get into the fucking shape that you want to get into. Bro, and I remember when I got into meal prepping in the first place, when I actually even got into like health and fitness, I was maybe like 15, 16 at the time. And at the time, there was all these videos of this bodybuilder, Kai Green. Now, some of you will be familiar with Kai Green. If you're an OG, if you know ball, you know who Kai Green is. And he had a sort of like a day in the life series that was pretty much an ad for the supplement company, whatever. It's besides the point. But he was going through his day-to-day process, and he said one thing that like has stuck with me for this last 10 years, which was the game of bodybuilding, which is, we're not trying to be bodybuilders, we're just trying to get into shape, but we can still use some of these rules that they follow. He said that the thing with bodybuilding is that it's just a game of preparation. Now, this whole thing of training and eating is just about a game of preparation, because if you're not prepared ahead of time, if you don't have your meals, if you don't have food ready in the fridge, it is gonna be much harder for you to actually stick to your plan because of the fact that you're gonna be going out throughout your day fighting temptation. Now, you can do that for a day or two. You can say no for a day or two, but there will inevitably come a point where you're gonna break down, where you're gonna give into the temptation, where if you're not prepared ahead of time, what do you think is gonna happen? Seriously, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna fuck off, you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna feel like shit because you've cheated on your diet and you don't know how to bounce back from it. And when you play the game of weight loss, really when you play the game of weight loss, what you're doing is you're playing a game of preparation. If you're telling yourself you don't have time to meal prep, you do have time to meal prep, you're just being a bitch. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, you don't want this enough. You don't want the body enough, you don't want the results enough to actually spend the time that you need to get the results that you're looking for. Because the reality is that you have to pay the rent. And paying the rent means training every single day, making sure you have your meals available. And it's really the only way to do it. It really is, because you're eliminating so many variables, and that's the thing with weight loss, that's the thing with dieting, is there are so many variables to look at. And when you can eliminate the variable of food, where okay, I got my chicken and rice ready, I know I can whip up my protein shake in the morning after my workout, I know what I get when I get home, I have quick and easy food that's like ready in minutes. Dude, there's no way that you're gonna cheat on your diet. There's no way that you're even gonna fall off track. Right? And then you pair that with actually making food that tastes good. Dude, there's no way you're not gonna be able to get into shape. So chicken is chopped up pretty much. And when it comes to spices, I mean, like, look, you're gonna wanna stick to the shit that you like. But before you put in your spices, I just go in with a little bit of olive oil just to make sure everything sticks together. And what I've been really leaning on in these last couple of weeks, especially, has been like these spice mixes. So I got like Tex-Mex here, I got like garlic and herbs. Sometimes I'll throw in some paprika, but what you're looking for when it comes to spicing your chicken is you're looking for umami. And umami is just a combination of a couple of things. It's salt, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and some sort of spice. That is usually what I'll stick to, is just those 5 spices, and I'll switch it up if I need to. But for the most part, that is what just makes everything taste good. So go as much as I want, and that's pretty much it. And then you just go in with your hands and you massage it all up, make sure it gets everywhere. If you're missing out on some Tex-Mex on some of the pieces of chicken, add some more, make sure everything is just nice and covered. And like, look, again, this is about simplicity. I can go in every Sunday, right? Buy a pack of meat from Costco. I'll seriously just run with that. And that's how you make weight loss effortless and easy, is when you just listen to your taste buds, when it doesn't feel like restriction. And the second thing is when it doesn't feel like a diet. But I've been doing this shit for so long now that this is just how I eat. Pretty much. Like, this is just a part of my routine, part of my schedule. I'm probably gonna eat like this probably for the rest of my life, because I just know what works for me and what's gotten me to be able to stick to my diet, to stick to eating the foods that I need to eat, to stay on the path and on the plan. And that's the most important thing. Like, look, once you're playing the game at this level, there's no way that you're not going to win, because again, you've controlled all the variables. And diet and training is like, it's kind of easy once you get it down. Once you have it down to a science, to a system that you can follow, there's no way that you can lose. There's no way that you can reach a point where even losing is a possibility, because it's not. It's only been 40 minutes. 40 minutes, the rice is already cooked. I'm on my last batch of chicken, and the food is pretty much ready. In like the next 10 minutes, it will all be done. And this is exactly what I mean when I say simplicity is your best friend. This is gonna take me under an hour to get everything done. And it's just, it's easy. And when you make it easy, there's no need to overthink. Bro, and I tried some of this chicken, like, look at this. Bro, look at that chicken. Absolutely phenomenal. Throughout the week, oh, so good. The guys, those of us who are fucking morbidly obese, we're fat as fuck, we want to get into shape, we've never had a healthy relationship with food, we have to play the game almost entirely differently than anybody else in this space. Because a lot of the things that mainstream fitness advice is going to tell us, a lot of things the industry is going to tell us, are just aren't going to work. By playing the game differently, all I'm saying is we have to simplify the process in every single respect. All the times in this last decade that I failed on my weight loss goals, on trying to get into shape, I'm not going to say weight loss, on just getting into shape, right? Getting jacked, getting lean, was always because the number one thing that nobody ever talked about was simplicity. Fundamentally because of the fact that you're already in a position where it's going to be hard to get the ball moving. Because you're dealing with so many mental struggles that only I understand because I've been there myself. And only guys who are really above 300 pounds understand because they've been there with you. And adding rules, adding complexity onto an already troubled and busy mind isn't going to work. Peel the rules back, and literally, that's exactly what I did. I peeled all the rules back. I told myself, okay, well, I know what's going to work for me because I've tried it so many times, and I know what generally works for other people. Formula is simplicity plus flavor plus a general enjoyment for food. I think what happens with a lot of guys is they want to lose weight, but they think that, they have to suffer to get there. No. You don't have to suffer, dude. You can eat all the food. There are so many foods on this planet that you can eat that are delicious, that are enjoyable. You don't have to resign yourself to eating fucking disgusting ass food because you think that somehow by suffering, you're going to get there faster. That's not how this game works. If you want to get there, it's got to be enjoyable. You got to have fun throughout the entire process. And that's it. That's how you actually make it so that health, fitness, getting into shape, staying into shape actually becomes like a life thing for you. It actually becomes something that you do, and something that's not just like part of your personality, not something that you tell other people about, just this is how you operate. Bro, look, just like that, we're done. Just like that, it's over. Meal prep is done. I did call an audible. I did say, I was gonna make veggies, but honestly, I couldn't be bothered. So I'm just throwing frozen veggies on it. Fuck it, whatever it is, what it is. But like, again, this took under an hour to do. It's not even 5:30 yet. This took maybe 45 minutes to do. And if you're worried about cleanup, literally the only cleanup that exists is these two pans that I used. That's it. Dude, rice just on its own fucking smashes. And this is what I mean. This is another part of simplicity. Everything has to be simple. I don't want to sit there and wash 1,000 dishes. No, 2 dishes, that's it. Maximum 2. If I'm feeling really fancy, we'll do 3, but maximum 2. I got my meat ready. Pause. I got my rice ready. I got my veggies ready. I know that for lunch at work, I'm good. I'm not gonna snack. I'm not gonna get off the diet and when we go to, like, you know, when it's lunchtime and the boys go to Popeyes or whatever the fuck, I know I got my meals. I'm good. I'm good. And in a nutshell, that is what my meal prep looks like. That is exactly the way that I've been doing this for the last 18 months to lose 75 pounds. And the best part is I'm still doing it the exact same way. And just by switching up a few variables, I'm continuing to lose weight. Every week it's like another half pound, 1 pound, and like I am on the up and up when it comes to actually getting lean. It's a system that works. And what you need to do, if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, is that you need to develop your system. Now, you only develop your system by failing. But the benefit is that now you have me, and I've spent 10 years failing and trying to figure this shit out on my own, and you're just getting all that game for free, which is honestly a steal. And I wish I had myself in your shoes when I was trying to do this shit. But when you develop your system, when you make sure that what you're doing is aligned with your goals, you simply just become unbeatable. There's nobody else that can get in your way, including yourself, because the system just works. And I mean, oh, these are some hefty boys, dude. Look at that. That is some fucking heft right there. Some days there is just no time in the day. You all have jobs, you guys are all busy, you have responsibilities, and you want to make sure that you can maintain those responsibilities. I wholeheartedly believe that you are not doing this just to get into shape. You're doing this for what getting in shape gives you, which is the ability to really be confident in yourself, right? Because you made a promise to yourself. You told yourself, hey, I want to lose this weight, and I'm going to go out and do it. And when you go out and do it, you realize, oh shit, I'm capable. I can do things. And when you do things, that's when the game changes for you. That's when you realize that, hey man, like I can really help out my parents. I can really help out my family, my community. I can help the people in my life that I love. And that only comes on the back of doing the things that you need to do to be the best version of yourself. Getting into shape is just one avenue of doing that. You know, I'm sure there's guys out there that are not in shape, but they're incredible people, and that's cool. But training and dieting and your body is a tool that unlocks everything else in your life. When I was at the depths of my depression, when I was 325 pounds, when I literally felt like there was no hope left for me in this life, the only thing that brought me back was getting in shape, was losing weight. Because the common theme in my life, and I'm sure this probably resonates with you, is that every opportunity that you have wasted, every gift that you have abandoned, all came from the fact that you were insecure in your body. And if you want to lead your family, if you want to lead your friends, if you want to lead your community, if you want to be the person that I know you can be, that only comes on the back of getting in shape, of losing weight. Now, right now I'm not in complete shape. The abs are coming in, still have my love handles. This doesn't fucking matter. Because I lost 75 pounds. I train every single day. I eat clean every single day. The body isn't the goal here. It's a byproduct of everything else that you do in your day. It's a byproduct of your mindset, of the way that you think, of the way that you want to approach life. The body isn't the goal. The goal is all of the mindset shifts, all of the realizations about yourself, all of the wins that happen outside of the gym. Those are the goals. The body is just, it's a byproduct of that. And if you're still here at the end of this video, I want to thank you. I hope this was actually worth your time, and I hope you got some value out of it, and I'll see you in the next one.